Good afternoon everyone, it's Brandon here from the Pilot Stud channel, and today I will be sharing 10 freeware aircraft you need to try for Microsoft Flight Simulator on PC. Now I've picked this list of jets, airliners, props and helis with the specific goal of not repeating the same aircraft you've all seen on the internet. So there should be something new to you all in today's video. On that note, be sure to like the video and indeed subscribe if you have not done already, as only 17% of you are. With that out of the way, let's get into the top 10 freeware picks. First up, with Delta Simulations and their C-17 Globemaster. This tactical airlifter has really improved compared to its initial release, and for that you should definitely give it a go. It's a well optimised military airlifter with an array of custom instruments and animations, coupled with a beautiful external model and a unique cockpit. It really is great fun. Of course it's not perfect, and I would say there's a lot of work that needs to go into the cockpit before I can describe it as faultless. But due to its very nature, you can land this thing almost anywhere, and that results in a very fun flying experience. As with all of these in today's video, this is linked down below. Sticking with the military theme, next up is the North American Rockwell Bronco by Abibaba, an incredibly wacky looking aircraft that can fly at incredibly low speeds with a clean stall speed of 70 knots, but that being said, it can also go pretty quick, cruising at around 220 knots. Its large canopy allows for panoramic views, and here in Microsoft Flight Sim, I have to say it is an almost perfect aircraft that I would happily pay for. In real life it was used by the American military as well as the German military. It can now be operated by you in the comfort of your own home or maybe your workplace. I don't judge, wherever you like to flight sim. This twin turboprop is a wicked blast, so do give it a go. Now next up is the first airliner of this list with the Headwind A330-900neo. This is another project which has really developed for the better, especially over the last few months, as they've been working on a totally rebuilt cockpit, of which I'm showcasing on the screen now. Now when this custom cockpit is released to the public, it makes this plane even better than it initially is. Coupled with Headwind's own systems and fly-by-wires additions, this long-haul Airbus is a pure joy to fly. The external model is almost perfect, and you are guaranteed to turn heads when flying in the Condor stripe livery, which I have to say I'm a big fan of. Let us know in the comments if you're also a big fan of the Condor stripes. The Headwind team are not just working on this A330, they've also got the A330-800neo and the A330-300 in the works, so these guys are really your go-to people if you're interested in the Airbus A330. Now the fourth aircraft in this list is a military trainer from the 1950s. It's the Cessna T-37 Tweet by Vrilla Platt of FlightSim.to. This is a really interesting jet to fly that sees frequent updates to ensure we all get a good experience. Now while this jet in real life is showing its age, it's only operated by Pakistan and Ecuador nowadays, but with a cruise speed of 310 knots that you can easily get up to in the simulator. This is a very good aircraft to pick up if you need to cover some ground in an incredibly manoeuvrable manner. Not as good of a cockpit as the Rockwell Bronco, I wouldn't say, but certainly very good. Now, have you ever dreamed of flying a Hawker Hunter under Tower Bridge in London City? Well, now you can with Dave Garwood's Hawker Hunters. These military jets are available in either a single seat or dual seat add-ons. The sounds are incredible, and the vast array of liveries really does add to these projects. Now these British jets first flew in 1951, and they still see some use privately in real life. Even Dave Garwood himself seems to have been working on these Hunters longer than I have been alive, so it's a real treat to have them in the most up-to-date sim 20 years after they were released for Flight Sim 2004. Now up now is the JP Logistics and WB Sim Cessna 152. This is a must-have for pilots who are learning to fly in the mighty Cessna 152. It adds a far superior rendition of the 152 into the sim that has an enhanced level of simulation, from engine health simulation to an overhauled flight model to an EFB that you can use to control various aspects of this plane, as well as a functional ADF, automatic direction finder. You will now need to join their Discord to access this staple of flight training schools around the world, but trust me, it's worth it. It's this sort of freeware that developers would certainly charge for. Now next up is the Horizon Simulations Boeing 787-9. The regrettable caveat with this one is that you will need the default Boeing 787 through the Premium Deluxe version of the sim in order to be able to use this freeware. If you can access it, well, you have another beautiful 787 variant to take command of. The flight model was a bit sporadic upon initial release of this aircraft, but those teething problems seem to have been sorted out now, resulting in a very pleasant aircraft to fly. It comes with 2 engine options, variant specific performance upgrades, animation improvements, and 30 included liveries, so it's a good shout if you like the 787. Now the only helicopter in today's list is the famous Huey by Tags Hangar, officially the UH-1 by Bell. This is an exceptional helicopter to fly, but be warned, you do need an external freeware application by the name of Airland FS to use this helicopter properly. That aside, it's a beautiful model inside and out. You can even swap stuff around inside the helicopter in terms of payload, depending on the type of mission you want to simulate. Whether you're flying over Vietnam or indeed the Italian Alps, this is certainly a fun helicopter workhorse to master. Now for a very work in progress project by Bandit Sim with their Lockheed L1011 TriStar Trijet. Now this project is not to the fidelity that all the other aircraft in this list are. It's still a very early days project, but I have to say it's flyable as an aircraft with 3 engines, and thank goodness it does not have a 747 cockpit anymore. It has a very basic yet functional custom cockpit that is beginning to shape up as a TriStar. You can download this vintage airliner off GitHub via their Discord server, of which of course I've linked down below. I have to say it's nice to have a vintage wide-body airliner in the works. The L1011 by Lockheed was of course very famous for being the first commercial airliner to have an auto-land capability. Only one of these beautiful jets are flying in real life nowadays. And finally, if you want to take a slight risk and update your flight sim to Sim Update 14 Beta, well, at that point you'll have access to AnyBuild's A320 version 2 for completely free. Yes, I know what you're thinking, another A320, who cares? But once the bugs have been ironed out of this one, it will be an accessible, highly realistic rendition of the Airbus A320neo for completely free. In its current state, I'd say performance is a slight letdown for me, but one thing is for sure, in terms of modelling, in terms of texturing, and in terms of system depth, it's approaching Phoenix level. It's not there yet, but it's a brilliant start. As I said, of course, with any beta you are taking a risk, but this airliner will eventually be released as part of Sim Update 14 for everyone on PC and Xbox in the not so distant future, and even now it's a brilliant airliner to have a go at. On that note guys, it's been a pleasure to have you all here today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video going through 10 freeware aircraft you need to try for Flight Sim 2020 on PC. I'll see you all very soon in another video. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and if you've got anything you'd like to add, as always, tell me in the comments. On that note guys, whatever you choose to fly today, have a blast with it. Happy flying. Bye bye.